Welcome back to Madmen with a Box, live for the 202nd time. I'm Pixel, as always. And over there, you may see him. There he is. It's OZChris.
It's me.
Chris Pratt?
No.
We're here today to talk about the last adventure in the last adventure in the last adventure, which is called the Brink of Death. But that's our topic for just a little bit. We do have a little bit of news to talk about. You know those little figures that you always forget about that are kind of just irrelevant, but then somehow they pop back up again, and you're always like, they're kind of cute. Maybe I'll add them. They're back.
Labubu's?
Alongside Gevain. Pop figures.
Oh, Funko Pops. Yay!
Funko Pop.
I clapped when I saw them.
I do have to say the 11th Doctor looks a lot better in this Funko Pop than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Doctor Who is still alive, everyone.
And the 15th Doctor is right there, you know?
Again, why none of this was released during the actual time it was airing?
Ain't nobody got time for that, Chris. Why are you asking questions like that?
Marketing 101. Alongside the shit that it is airing. Not fucking 50 years later.
Funko Pops are always late to the party.
Yeah.
It's because of their super complex design.
Yeah, same eyes, same head. That's it.
Though, actually, as someone who used to do pixel art all the time, I will say there is a certain complexity in simplicity. When you have this limited space that you're working with, to go ahead and try to make it all fit, concise, to the point that you're happy, it's a tough job.
Counterpoint, Funko Pop.
I like that river song. Look at that.
It's fine.
It's cute. I did see one in another set of photos that has the 10th Doctor where he's like regenerating.
Yeah, he's got
regeneration.
Yellow juice on his hand.
Yeah.
And don't know why he needs two, but sure, he's already got one that has a TARDIS with him, so...
Why isn't there a 14th Doctor one, actually?
Yeah, if you're going to do two tenants, just make one of them 14.
Doctor Who, you utter bastard!
I had no reason. I just wanted to use it. Okay?
I get it.
And we're joined by Joe over Corallo's.
It's true. Hello.
You have any harsh feelings on Funko Pops?
I'm not a big fan of them. Like I have gotten Funko Pops for people as gifts. I have received Funko Pops as gifts. It's kind of where I'm at.
It is what it is, but I feel like them now like being the cornerstone of like pop culture, it's like please go away.
Yeah, I have a cool like Toxic Avenger one that's like signed by like Lloyd Kaufman and a bunch of like trauma actors and stuff
nice.
that. Like that's cool. But like, you know, I've gotten a Xenomorph as a gift. I've gotten maybe one or two others, but like, yeah, they're fine.
I don't know where they are. I know someone gave me a 10th and 11th Doctor one, so I have them.
I have some somewhere. I need to try trade buying. I have ones that were made for Preacher, and I need to try to trade those for something I actually want. So
I'm proud of my John Wick Funko.
Nice.
Do you occasionally throw it down in a comically long set of stairs every now and then?
No, I leave
rolling.
the dog that it came with alone because I heard things.
Incredible.
You mess with the Baba Yaga and you broke his Funko Pop. All right. Hey, we don't have any news. We don't have
really
any real news. Let's.
They're not gonna talk about what Billy said. It's
I don't know. I didn't click on the video. What does she say in the video?
I can't remember.
Yeah, basically like no, I'm not the doctor. You know, it's like this is hard. Basically, kind of stop asking me about this. And so on and so forth. Yeah, it's like, you know, she has more confidence than Chibnall does that, you know, they'll bring her back soon. But other than that, it's like,
Yeah, I don't blame her. She got thrown in last minute for something that's never going to happen. So
exactly.
You know, there's no point of like it's always whenever someone has to ask Christopher Eccleston if he'll come back. It's like, guys, everyone has asked him this. Stop asking him. Which led to the infamous Sack Russell T Davies clip. I think that was him just putting the final nail on the coffin. Just be like, okay, you want me to come back and do all of this? Please stop asking me.
Yeah, she did a friend a favor. That's it. That, you know, it's like it shouldn't haunt her forever.
Yeah.
You know. What do you want?
Yeah, so you know. But knowing Doctor Who fans, they're just going to keep asking.
Let's get into our topic. Let's talk about. We've talked about that topic to death. So let's go to the brink of death.
Then hopefully after the brink of death, I can finally die. Get it over with. But no, okay, I guess we'll lead into it. So, the Brink of Death is the fourth and last story of the Sixth Doctor Last Adventure box set of the Sixth Doctor and the Valeyard facing off against each other one last time, ? Starring Colin Baker as the Sixth Doctor, Bonnie Langford as Melanie Bush, Michael Jason as the Valeyard, and Sylvester McCoy as the Seventh Doctor. We'll get to that. Summary of it, the Doctor and Mel face their final confrontation with the Valeyard, and the Doctor must make the ultimate sacrifice. So I guess we'll start with Gevain. Your thoughts on the Brink of Death?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It opened strong, like Mel, you know, good performance from her. It's like very high octane opening. Love. I think this one for me, it finally got right. The kind of like what I was looking for from the Valiant in terms of like impersonating other people and kind of messing with the Doctor, like that whole tone of it. Particularly, he helped me out with the technician character Janessa. Was her name?
I think it was, yeah.
Like the Janessa character, and there's a point towards the end of it where it's like she sort of starts giggling and is like a little bit like kind of like you can't tell if she's like delirious or just mocking him or like, you know, she high or what the hell's going on. And then the whole reveal is that she's the Valiant, and it's just like, yeah, that's what I was looking for in terms of like just mess with him as much as possible. But in terms of the whole the overall story, I wish there was a little bit more of that kind of tone from the Valiant, particularly with doing the reenacting the regenerations of the Doctors, just like more like kind of mocking the Doctor. Like I even think sometimes with just through the whole story, I think they didn't go far enough with it. like in terms of like really like sort of like almost like a reverse like Christmas Carol, where it's not so much going back to those things, but even in some way showing the Doctor, oh, you could have left your companions behind a little bit differently, or not made it so bittersweet, or just done things differently. More just like almost like proving that he could have done things. He could have been a better Doctor than the Doctor was. So I think they could have gone a little bit further with this, but yeah, this was a legit ending, and the whole thing of now would, I guess, in some cases become legendary, the whole phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space kind of dynamic, where he basically, when he decides to take himself out, but the value doesn't realize it because he's tied with him in so many respects that he's going with him. So that was a good kind of FU in the end as it went. And yeah, and the regeneration itself, yeah, it was good. I like the whole McCoy doing a very good cameo at the end, basically talking about change. And I guess what's funny about this whole thing of the dynamic of like the value of impersonating, or at least impersonating so many people, is that part of me feels like they're like, okay, yeah, remember that thing they did with Seven with the Ronnie, where the Ronnie impersonated Mel? This is how you do it. This is a little bit of this is how you do it, because of course, what happens after this? The Ronnie impersonates Mel. The thing. So I mean, it's just a little bit of rubbing in the face. Like, yeah, see, guys, this is how you do it. but
I disagree. Can you imagine Michael Jaston dressing up as Mel?
Just a little bit. So it's like, yeah, it almost makes me want to go back and watch. Almost wants me to go back and watch the Time and Ronnie, and just to see it. I think it gives me maybe a little bit more of an appreciation for that, but there's definitely that feeling like, yeah, it's like, yeah, fellas, this is how you should have done it the first time around. But all in all, in terms of the entire thing, with the exception of the second story in this. This is a really good send off for the Sixth Doctor. Like I said, he is my big Finish Doctor, and I think this was the right way for him to go out. Really good story, really good episode. Starts off well, ends well, has the right twist, the right twist in the end with the value. That refusing to tell the Doctor exactly when he started impersonating the technician character. Was she even real to Janessa? Was she even real to begin with? That's just the way he just kind of like needles him towards the end. The value is definitely a great Doctor Who villain, and definitely is worthy of being the greatest nemesis, if you will, of Six. So well done.
Okay. Joe.
Well, one thing I'd add is, like, I think it would have been cool if it ended with the McCoy theme. I think it would have added. I think that would have added a nice little touch.
That's good.
To it. I did really like that McCoy comes in at the end and they have that kind of conversation a little bit, that like overlapping dialogue kind of convo. I thought that was cool. It's hard not to think of this like all together now, having listened to all of it. Like, Chris the other week even wanted to talk about all of it. Like, on the whole, you easily could have dropped one of these. This did not need to be 3 stories. This didn't need to be 4 stories. This easily could have been 3 stories. You could have dropped that second story and had the first, third, and fourth, and I think, it would have been really tight. You could have probably even trimmed it down more than that. This easily could have been like a 4-part classic serial if they really wanted it to be, and gotten it all across. That said, I did really like the story. I like it. Like, you almost could have just done this story. Like, you didn't even need like a box set. And I really like Stage Fright, and I like the first story a bunch too. But you could have just done this. Like, there's a couple of references in the story to the previous stories, but like, this you could have easily just done as a story in between, like, not even. You could have just done this, right in between Trial and Time of the Rounty, and just plug this one story, like, in, and it's perfect. You don't need the other stuff. So, like, it feels a little
bloated.
The process of it all feels a bit, bloated, a bit like a cash grab, because Big Finish sure loves their long box sets that never justify every story in it. But, I guess that's the model to sell these things. But
it would have been a great tight 90 minutes. You're right. Yeah.
It was the model. They don't do that anymore. Now they're
That
just
is
trying
true.
to charge you fist over hand for each
Charge you an
individual
arm and a
story.
leg for 2 stories. 3 if you're lucky.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so yeah, but I really enjoy it. It was great having Mel in it. I think Colin gets some great little bits to do. By having it be 4 stories, like, I'm not gonna hold any of that against this individual story. We're rating all these as individual stories, but like, by the time you get to this one, if you listen to them all in quick succession, I can imagine, like, there are a lot of like overlapping themes. So it does kind of get to a point where, like, we get it with with some of the material of the themes in it. But listening to it spread out, I think, helps a lot with that. I'm just imagining, like, getting to this story and just being like, yes, no, I know. We've been dragging this on for like a little bit now, but like, it's great performances all around. This might be the best bit the two of them get to act off of together. Like, because this story really cuts down to the bone of it. This story really, there's a lot of like dancing around issues in the earlier stories. This one, like, they're both going for each other's jugular, and it really it plays off that way. It made me think of things like how what works about the Sixth Doctor and the Valyard in a way that the Master sometimes doesn't is like, the Valyard has a very clear goal.
Yep.
And if you keep using the Valyard, eventually you fall into the problem that you have with characters like Galactus and stuff at Marvel, where it's just like, oh, he's back because he wants to eat Earth again. But with the Master, a lot of times, especially earlier incarnations, it would just I think John Nathan Turner actually did a very good job of like building the Master up again, and then he kind of gets lost along the way. But a lot of times he was just there as like a Moriarty kind of character, which like serves some purpose. But like, the Valyard has such a clear purpose. We understand him. We get the motivation. He's this like reflection of the worst of the Doctor. He serves as like sort of a great foil. He's very well acted. He's like, he just really works in these Big Finish stories in a way that makes it like so upsetting that they couldn't have figured out a way to work him into one Sylvester McCoy story or something, because like, he really was like that good in this role. And the Trial itself, we only get so much of him. So yeah, no, this is a great exploration of those characters. I'm very glad that Colin and Michael got to like have these interactions with each other in audio, and like that we could hear their voices, and that we have that. He passed a few years ago, or right? Like he's
Michael
passed.
Jason, yes.
Yeah, and which I'm so glad they got to do as much as they did with him while he was still here. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I do have one comment about what you said at the beginning about at the end how it could have gone to Sylvester McCoy's theme. I will say that I do not like Sylvester McCoy's theme, and this is one of my favorite themes, so I'm glad that it didn't. I
wasn't talking about the quality of the themes. I was talking more purely as like a narrative bit, not an enjoyment factor.
That's the thing. I don't care. This story is like really good. I do like that they took the mocking the Valyard's name and they gave it to the mini companion in this story. Which if it was the Valyard the entire time, then the Valyard was doing that to himself. But we don't know. We'll never know. Nobody will know. The whole box set overall did not need to be 4 stories. Actually, the thing is, though, maybe I'm missing something, but I'm failing to see the direct connection to the first one. I know that was like a month ago now, but the first one, I've forgotten the connection completely, other than the Valyard is in it.
It's so loose.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Whereas it's so loose, it's at the very end. Yeah.
Whereas the second story, he is more in there, and the key is in the door, and it connects directly. Like, I know the werewolf one was the weakest for all of us. I understand.
Yeah.
But relevance to this story, the werewolf one has more justification than the train story.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Stage Fright is the best of those 3. But this is the best overall. This is exciting. You really do feel like they are on the brink of death. Great performance from Michael Jason. It is sad we only have so much of the Valyard, but it's so great that what we do have of him is as entertaining as it is. Other than the Ultimate Foe. I don't have much more to add. Good story. Chris.
I kind of agree. This did not need to be a 4-story box set. Yeah, if you condensed down to 3, it would have been much, much stronger. This story itself, I liked it. It's a nice, it wraps everything up. Nice finale, giving us a not an original, but another send-off for the 6th Doctor. I'll talk about that in trivia. But fantastic performances by everyone. I will say, I do like Mel in this. I just wish she had a bit more than just she is there and just doesn't know that the Doctor's been swapped out with the Valiant, and that's it. Compared to the previous companions in the other stories, which had a bit more to do with the actual plot, Mel kind of really doesn't for the most part. So I kind of wish there was more to do with Mel. Mainly because Janesta takes that role as the companion for the Doctor, and she's great. And that mystery of whether she was the Valiant the entire time, that's great. But even then, the Doctor's I could tell in parts that she was a genuine person, or maybe the Valiant is just a really good actor. Who knows? But no, overall with the Last Adventure, I don't think it is it is a good like send off for 6, and actually kind of somewhat bridging that gap, giving the Sixth Doctor an actual kind of somewhat definitive end to his era. So overall I quite enjoyed it, quite liked it. It's probably, I'd say, second best story in this box set. I think the stage fright is definitely the much stronger one. Overall quite liked it. So before we get into trivia, we actually have some trivia after a few weeks of no trivia. All right. Where is it? Like I said earlier, this is like the second time that the Sixth Doctor has gotten a definitive end, like an actual explanation of like what happened. There is the novel Spiral Scratch, where that one, the Sixth Doctor regenerates because he was weakened. Something absorbed all his chronon energy, so he was incredibly weakened. And when the Rani attacked, he was pretty much dying already. But then him slamming his head on the TARDIS, just that was essentially. So it's not
Trip and die, Doctor. Trip and die.
Slip and die.
All the ways the Doctor has
Died.
had to regenerate. I mean, that's still better than just choosing to.
It's still better than he just slipped. He just slipped and slammed his head. Like that's it. At least
But it's not better than machine guns in an alley.
That's gangster.
And he didn't even die from that. He died from the healthcare system.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
Medicare for all killed him.
Typical American healthcare. You pay up the wazoo and they kill you anyway.
Oh man.
In the accompanying commentary disc for this box set, Nicholas Briggs notes that in writing the story, he found it strange that the Doctor would travel to Lacotia if there was a danger implied to be present nearby, and thus wrote an explanation behind his arrival at the planet. Originally, Colin Baker was against the idea of recording a regeneration story, but was persuaded by producer David Richardson that fans wished for a gap between the Ultimate Foe and Time in the Rani to be filled. Again, Spiral Scratch already existed by then, so there was a gap. They just wanted one where Colin Baker was actually performing it.
Yeah.
He doesn't die by hitting his head on the console.
No. No. This story bears strong similarities to former script editor Eric Saywood's original vision for the ending of The Ultimate Foe, where the Sixth Doctor and the Valeyard are trapped fighting in the Matrix, but left on a cliffhanger on what happens. Does the Sixth Doctor win? Does the Valeyard win? We don't know. Like the Eighth Doctor's regeneration, this was explored years after the actor was replaced in the role on television. And the Sixth Doctor is the second Doctor to have the circumstances of his regeneration explained in spin-off media rather than a television story. The previous being the second Doctor, whose regeneration was seen in the comic story The Nightwalkers. Which, if I remember, that was how he regenerates. It's kind of funny. It's a funny regeneration. So anyone who hasn't read The Nightwalkers, the gist is like just before the Celestial Intervention Agency forces him to regenerate and do his exile, he escapes and just goes into hiding for a bit. Then he's like, I think if I remember correctly, is like, oh, I kind of want to go see Jamie and Zoe, and then the Time Lords find him, and they use these scarecrows that they're controlling, and they all like shoot at him to force him to regenerate.
Okay.
Firing squad again.
A firing squad again, but Scarecrow edition.
First time.
The climax of this story provides a startling explanation for the Doctor's transformation into a much more dangerous man once he regenerated into his 6th incarnation, and by extension, the escalating aggressiveness of who he is at heart as he ages. So, I kind of like that. Just like, oh, what about your morals? Your scrupulous morals, Doctor. And it's like, oh, they'll die with me. It's like, okay, yeah. Kind of makes a little bit of sense where 7 being a bit more Machiavellian, bit more. I need to get the goal done. Doesn't if I got to use my friends gonna have to, unfortunately. And yeah, we'll leave it there with our trivia.
Gevain.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 8.5. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the story a lot. I agree with what everybody's saying in terms of you could have definitely, I think, lost the first story. Like, I don't think this, a lot of ways it's superfluous. And if you had cobbled enough out of the second story along with this and stage fright, then you would have had a really strong, just like powerhouse finale. And I just think that the way it ended, it just leads you to that conclusion. It's, I think, and I think in some ways it's not strong enough on its own without stage fright and that second story to stand on its own. Like, if it was going to be like, oh, this is how the 6th Doctor went out, but it's definitely a great story. Like, I really like the Big Finish episodes where it's like you can sit and listen to it, and like you could see this being on a television screen, and it has all of that energy, all of that action, fantastic opening, fantastic performances from everyone involved. The actress who does Janessa does a great job filling in on the companion light role, and again, the chemistry between Baker and Jason as the 6th Doctor and the Valiant is on full display here. And it's a great way to go out. And it's like, if you haven't ever listened to the other 3 stories in the box set, this is still one hell of a good story, one hell of a good time. So yeah, not perfect, but pretty damn good. So 8.5 for me.
Okay. Joe, the Corallo.
Honestly, I was thinking 8.5 for this prior to, like, it's really good. I do like this story, quite a bit. I think a lot of it just from those like last instances with Colin Baker and Michael Chasen. It's just it's great to have had that. It's so nice having something that exists that they got to act in that is better than the Ultimate Foe and Time of the Rani. Like, it's nice having that, like, just, ooh, this is nice. The bit with Sylvester McCoy, I think, also was a very cool way to do it. And it felt different, but it felt appropriate for Classic Who at the same time. So yeah, I'm gonna go 8.5 as well.
I'm going to agree. 8.5 is the perfect rating for this story. It's really good, really solid. And yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. But it could in some way, somewhere, just earn itself back to a 10, but not every story could be a 10. 8.5 is good.
Not every story is Jubilee. Like, it's just
exactly. Yep.
If only Landry was here, Landry would say not every story could be Love and Monsters. Not every story can be Sleep No More, guys.
No, that is true.
Chris, do you have a rating?
I'd have to also go with 8.5. Yeah, I think it's a story on its own. It's It's good. I like it as the finale for this box set. It's good, but yeah, it could have been condensed to 3 stories instead of 4. Yeah, fantastic. 8.5.
Very good. You have our ratings. You know how we feel about it now. Now we ask you to like, comment, and subscribe below. Next week will be the finale of trial season as we do our first book club review. Yeah. As we're going to be reviewing.
I can't be bothered reaching mine.
Matrix, in which we spoil the surprise in the story because. But whatever.
Hey, it might not be.
Yeah. Imagine.
Could be the rail yard.
The scrap yard.
The yard.
The boneyard.
The train yard. The rail yard, rather. The rail yard.
Yeah. Played by Mike PlayStation.
I don't care what the barnyard says. Now I'm going to go to sleep with the idea of Michael Jason dressing up as Mel.
There you go.
Trying to trick the doctor that he is Mel. Hilarious. 10 out of 10. That is fantastic. I never knew I needed that mental image. We'll see you next week, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Alonzi, all that.